Today I'll be talking about the research and the scientific methods of not only learning German language but also learn anything in this world. Guten Tag, my name is Jiten and welcome to my channel Fluent to German, where we believe that anybody can learn anything. There are millions of aspirants across the globe who want to learn the German language, but they leave the journey in between, not because of motivation but for some other reasons. In this rapid changing world, old skills are becoming redundant. What you learned few years back is not relevant today. You need to keep upgrading yourself. The biggest reason for the people to stop learning is not the fear of learning, but because they don't have an effective techniques of learning. And today I'll be telling you about those techniques. But before we start, let me talk about the focus and diffuse mode of thinking which is used by our brains to learn anything new. Focus mode is there when you're trying to solve a problem or when we are trying to learn anything new. Offline mode is there when we are attempting to solve or learn something which is complex in nature. And after a point we are not able to focus on the problem or the new learning. Shift ourselves to the very relaxing mode. And that is the mode when the diffuse mode of thinking start working. This enhances your learning ability to the next level. So let's start with the first technique. If you are an individual who's procrastinating and giving excuses whether you should learn a language or learn anything else, then you should apply this technique. This technique name is Pomodoro Technique. It's a very simple technique where you need to time your learning for a period of just 25 minutes. See that there is no interruptions and you just need to focus on your learning. Just observe that anybody can focus for 25 minutes. And once you have finished your number of minutes, you should also reward yourself with something. It can be either relaxation, it can be either browsing the net, or it can be anything else. You can repeat this process of learning based on your comfort level and help you build a very strong conceptual framework. Let's jump to the second technique now. The second technique is called the space repetition. It's all about spacing a repetition over a period of time. When you're attempting to learn German language or you're attempting to learn anything else, you can keep 4 to 5 days in a week to repeat your learning in a very phased manner. For example, if you're learning German language and you're spending 1 hour every day to learn the new things, you can also dedicate half an hour for 4 to 5 days in a week to basically repeat your old learnings, and this will help you to move your new learning from your short memory to the long-term memory. Let's jump to the third technique now. The name of the third technique is creating chunks. So what is chunks? Chunk is basically grouping of information which can be used by our brain anytime and anywhere. Chunking is a very effective technique which can be used by any individual who aspire to learn any foreign language. Creating chunk is a 3-step process. The first step is to focus. You need to focus on the information or the learning you want to chunk. The second step is to understand the basic learning you want to chunk. And then you need to practice and repeat your learnings. And the third step is to gaining the context. That means building your understanding on not only how to use a chunk but also when to use the chunk of information. So let's say when you start learning German language, you basically start with the A1 level, and before you start your learning you should first go through the entire course just to understand what all is there in the course. You start making chunks of the learning of alphabets, learning of numbers, learning of articles, usage of verbs, and so many different things. Through practice and repetition, you start creating strong neural network of information in the form of chunk. And then you start building a bigger picture of how these small chunks helps you build your conversational, reading and listening skill sets. So friends, we don't need to get bogged down. We don't need to procrastinate. We don't need to find excuses for learning. We just need to follow the simple methodology of learning. If you want to learn more in detail, you can take this course, Learning How to Learn by McMaster University and University of California. I have given the details in the descriptions below. Friend, don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel.